Welcome to Corks and Cauldron, where two friends uncork a bottle, cast a few spells, and dive deep into fantasy, books, and theories. I'm Jen, and Gabby is still on vacation, so instead of talking about the Plated Prisoner series tonight, I've got a guest. Alex N. Rose, who wrote To Love the Reaper, has kindly agreed to come on and talk to me about her book and about being an indie author and just stuff. So, Alex, if you want to say hi.
Hi, hello.
That was so exciting. So let's start off with some warm up questions tonight. And if you have listened to the podcast before, you'll know that this is take two of this interview. We are going to be replacing the first failed interview with
Oh,
this one.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna overwrite the other one. So hopefully it'll work well. So, Alex, if your writing style were a wine, what would it be and why?
Definitely spilled wine. It's chaotic. If I had to pick what kind of spilled wine, it'd definitely be red wine. It's got that
Okay.
little bittersweet kick to it. You have that really sharp when you first drink dry red wine. It's just that really sharp in your mouth. But, you start getting used to it. It starts warming on you, and the bite doesn't feel so bad.
Gabby is really our wine connoisseur, but I do like rosés, which I guess are semi-sweet
Yeah.
for the most part. I don't like regular just dry wine because I feel like I have to drink water when I'm drinking wine, and it doesn't work well for me.
Oh, no, I think that's dry red wine makes me feel fancy, so
See, that's fair. Okay. What what is your go-to comfort book or genre?
I'm a mood reader, so it kinda just, like, bounces back and forth. Last year, it
Mhm.
was basically just horror, like, any sort of subgenre in that, I was just eating it up. But this year, I've been really into like the romantasies, trying more mysteries. I've always kind of liked romance. And so diving into that dark romance side of it almost meshes the whole dark part of horror and the romance for me. So sometimes those ones are a hit too.
And when you're writing, do you have like a special ritual? Do you have to set out candles and get your laptop and make sure the kids are napping? Do you do it everywhere? Do you outline? What is it that you do?
A complete pantser. Everything is just in the moment. I don't know where the story's going. I have a general idea, but no outline. I tried to make an outline once before, forgot about it, didn't follow it. I had a lot of good ideas in there. They didn't make the cut apparently. And it's just really anywhere. If I'll wake up middle of the night, had a dream of a scene that would work perfectly, and so I just have to pull out my notes app real quick and write it down. If I don't write it down, it's gone.
Do you do a lot in your notes app or do you use like Microsoft Word? I know that some writers have like really fancy specific programs that they write in.
So I kind of switch back and forth between my Word documents. I use Word because I can use it on both the computer and my phone, but I also, I it was what I was used to using to write essays and stuff like that. And so it's what I'm most comfortable working in. But I do jot things down in my notes if it's something where I know I want it to be later in the book or a different book that I'm not working on yet. I put it in my notes so it's safe and I don't have a bunch of work documents.
Okay, that makes sense.
Some of them don't make sense because I am just jotting them down in the moment, and so some of them, there's one, and I read it, and I was like, "Dinosaurs? Why would I write about dinosaurs?"
Is somebody going to wear a dinosaur onesie?
I mean, it was an okay idea, it's very vague, I don't know how I'm supposed to get there, but Dream
Okay.
Me thought it was a great idea.
I mean, there you go. Eventually you'll get to a spot where you can add it.
Maybe.
So, how do you build tension in your stories without losing any emotional payoff?
It's hard. I like just all the action. I like all this it's bam, bam, bam.
Mhm.
Writing wise, you have to let them know what's going on in between. It was really hard to kind of, slow it down, draw it back a little bit because you have to build in that middle filler area. so you don't lose it, because otherwise you're gonna get whiplash trying to read some of those first drafts.
I can see that. I've tried to write a couple of times and I get started and I'll start writing something down and then a couple weeks later I'll pick it up again and I'll be like, "Where was I going with this?" Or that was way too fast because it'll be like one paragraph they're doing one thing and then the next paragraph I'm talking about 10 days later and I'm like, "I don't think that's gonna work."
No,
I
it
don't.
was just something my editor even picked up for me at one point in time, in the Reaper. She actually texted me a screenshot and she said, "Why are we teleporting?" And I was like, "That wasn't important to me."
Did she make you pull it back and just,
She
like,
did.
rewrite?
She was like, "Maybe
Gotcha.
we can't teleport."
Whatever.
She's like, "It's not a fantasy. We can't do that here." I was like, "Oh, I guess."
Alright, fine. What do you think makes a character morally gray instead of just irredeemable?
I would say the reason why he's doing it, if they're doing it just to do it, that's kind of like oh, where's your why? Like you're kind of lame. But I mean, if he's doing it just because it feels good, he's doing it for like a vigilante reason. So when you take Julian, he has a reason for what he's doing. What he's doing is bad, but it's for justice. It's for good, and you kind of see it from his way, which makes him super attractive in my mind. And then you see that he's doing things then for this person that he's fallen in love with. And that also, there's his reason why. So yeah, it's bad, but he likes her.
Do you have a favorite character of your own?
It switches all the time right now, just because it's something that I had just worked on. Rory is my favorite, I think.
Mhm.
you know, he talks and it's like, "Oh, yeah, sure, whatever you say." But at the same time, they're all my favorite. They're all personality points from my husband. And so, I see those coming out more because I know they're there, but I see them and then it's just like, "No, you're my favorite." But then I go to the next character and it's like, "Never mind, you're my favorite." So don't make me choose them.
I would never make you choose. I am a big fan of why choose.
Exactly.
I don't have, nothing with that. Are there any themes or tropes that you personally don't or won't write?
I think probably step sibling. I do enjoy reading, the foster taboo kind of things every now and again. Little Stranger is one of my favorites. And they're adopted siblings, and I try to just forget about that part so I can keep reading it because it's amazing. But I don't think I could write it. I think it would make me personally uncomfortable because I definitely live their lives while I'm writing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can get that then. I get you. Okay. I that makes sense. I have problems with the ones where they call them daddy or the age gap if it's not a fantasy book. Like, if it's a fantasy book for me, I guess it's okay. If it's not, the huge age gaps or, like, my best friend's dad,
Mhm.
I struggle with. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that."
I'll eat them up. Um, I mean, I'll read
I
them.
have I have tried reading them, and then I get to the point where he's just like and then I'm just like, "Mm-mm."
Mm. I think
For me,
I have more of a problem with the autonomy words that some authors use. Because if I read folds, I'm done. I don't wanna read anymore. Now I'm making a face.
oh.
It's just like, nope." And so that was a big thing that I did is I was like, "I'm never writing folds ever."
I follow a couple of indie authors on TikTok, obviously, because, well, I read a lot and I want to find more books. And one of the female authors was like, please give me a good word for vagina that's not vagina.
Right.
And one of the biggest things in the comments was, don't use folds. Just don't. And she was like, no, that word makes me cringy. I can't do it.
No.
And I was like, oh, bless you. Thank you so much because it just I don't know why that's such a popular word.
It's I don't know who started that, but I
I don't like that
please never
person.
again.
Yeah. Why did you choose to go indie and how has it shaped your writing journey?
I wanted to be my own boss. There's nothing wrong. I mean, there's no right way to publish a book. You do it yourself,
Right.
traditional. It's really whatever works best. And I enjoy books from both. But me personally, I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to set my own deadlines and not write because somebody else is telling me I need to write it. I want to write because it's fun and that's what I enjoy doing. I feel like that's when I write best is when I'm not like on a time crunch. I can sit there. I've put myself in positions so far on this journey where I did put a really heavy time crunch and I stressed out and I ended up scrapping so much of what I've written because I didn't love what I was doing. I was writing it because I had to write it.
What's something that readers might not realize about being an indie author?
I would say how much we see as far as like book talk, you have Instagram, stuff like that, to
Mhm.
where a lot of authors do get a bad rap because they don't go traditional. And so it's a lot of adding fuel to the self doubt fire. A lot of indie authors, I do know that they chose the indie route because they weren't getting um, the publishing deals and so
Mhm.
I think that also, beats down on them a little bit. But I mean, it kind of goes for all authors is, words hurt, even when you're an author. So
Have you ever had to turn off comments on one of your TikToks
not yet.
or any of your posts?
Not me personally, not yet. It's all been loved and, it's been a really good welcoming into book talk. I'm very
Yeah.
small in my following, and so I think that's nice too. But I do have friends where like I've seen their comment section and it's just, you know, feel bad for her. So
People get mean.
they get so mean. There was a minute there I had to kind of step away from book talk because it got a little weird and I wish it would kind of go back to how it was.
Do you have favorite people that you follow on Book Talk?
Anybody who's an author, especially indie author, right
Uh-huh.
now, I repost so many. I try to repost all of them just to get them out there. But I also have, my author friends. We all follow each other. I did some anthologies with a couple of them, and that was really fun. And so it's fun to kind of tag each other and on each other's stuff.
I saw that on Amazon.
Mhm,
You guys have a book. Hold on. Yes, I'm logging on to Amazon. I was unprepared. So I know that you have already out Project Mirror, which is
mhm,
a YA book,
mhm,
and then To Love the Reaper,
mhm.
which is a little bit darker romance, and To Burn in Their Flames is about to drop on August 20th,
Yep.
and that's the one with Rory in it.
Mhm.
And then I also saw that you had one called Dead Men Don't Rape.
Mhm. That one is not romance. I wanna make that very clear because I did have somebody, she very supportive. She did let me know that she started it thinking it was a romance, you very quickly. That one is all I'd call it every story is different, and it's very body horror, splatterpunk leaning into it in some
Okay.
places, but it is for horror lovers.
And then the other one you have is a Halloween horror show anthology, which I'm sure is not not romance either.
It
I'm just gonna
actually
take a stab.
it's kinda all of it. She definitely gave
Okay.
us free rein. A lot of us are doing dark romance. I would say that not all of them have happy ever afters.
Mm,
Mine doesn't, but I'm kinda waiting before I read everybody else's just so I can read them all at the same time. I'm excited,
fair.
so
Well, that's right. This one isn't even published yet. It's October 1st.
just in
I'm
time for
sorry.
Halloween?
Yes. I have it saved on my books list to remind myself. Some books I immediately pre-purchase and other books I just kinda stick on here to remind me to read them later.
Sometimes they all came
Um,
out at the same time, and I'm just like, "You know what? I'll save it
yes.
for later." Because I already have
And
10 books on order for that day.
somebody in a book group, I'm guessing it's the book group we're in, did tell me that if you're pre-ordering books, it doesn't count.
Oh, it was probably me. I probably said it.
Oh, okay. It was either you or Courtney.
Yeah, no,
Said
it
pre-ordering
doesn't count.
doesn't count.
And gifts from friends, it doesn't count as your
Doesn't
book. It
count.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
And a series counts as 1 book.
I fully support that, but I also have full series on
Yeah.
my bookshelf. I didn't just get ACOTAR, I got the whole series that has been published. Throne of Glass, I did the same thing. Crescent City, I didn't, only because the 3rd book wasn't out yet. And then once it all came out, our company decided we could pick up to a certain amount on Amazon, and that would be our gift for the year. And I picked the Crescent City hardcovers.
I
And now they all match because the other ones I have are mismatched, and now I feel better.
th Yeah, I got stuck in book of the month because I needed matching of the Ruinous Love trilogy. They needed to match. So,
Do I have that on my list?
I hope so. The Butcher and Blackbird one?
Yeah. Oh, I have all those.
Yeah.
I have them on my Kindle right now, so I haven't gotten my trophies yet.
Oh, no, I ordered it on Book of the Month, and then I found out that there was a second one, and I was like, "Oh, man, now I gotta keep it longer." And then the 3rd one got announced, I was like, "Dang it." Well, they have to match.
They do. If you get a series and for some reason one of them is off,
Mhm.
even if it's just by size, and I know that the publishing companies do this on purpose. They have to,
Definitely.
because when I first got my Plated Prisoner series, I thought that one of the books was off, and it was one of the middle books. I don't remember if it was Gold or Glow, and I was like, "Oh, I think this is uneven." It's actually my bookshelf, thank God.
That's why, I actually changed the cover of The Reaper, because at first it was a different cover. It was of a man and a woman, a very
Uh-huh.
dark romance. I loved it. When the first one had dropped, I was like, "You know what? I need more of Iris. Like, I need more of this story." Like, I loved her. I wanted more of it. A lot of my friends were like, "I need more of her. Like, she's amazing." And so I was like, "Sure." But then I was running the dilemma that the covers weren't going to match because what I wanted for the second cover didn't match the first. I was like, "Well, I can't have that." So, complete redo, made the covers for both of them. So I felt better.
That's fair. I that would make me feel better too, because I like the covers to match too.
Mhm.
Yes, that's always good. So, we were talking earlier about your editor. So, you do have an editor then
I do.
for your books. So, you're not just, like, hoping that Google, Microsoft Word helps you with Copilot and stuff, right?
Right. So basically, I do base editing. So like the basic,
Mhm,
run through, read through it, to change anything that I've maybe missed a word here, a spell check, as good of grammar check as I can do.
mhm.
But then I send it off to her. She's one of my very close friends. She's got that English degree. She's got all that fancy stuff, and so she runs through it, makes it pretty for me. And then also too, when you publish, if you do use an EPUB maker like Kindle Create, it will actually tell you if it catches any spelling errors too. And so there's like those safeguards in there, but like anybody, there's that one that just like weasels its way in somehow.
Of course. Or, like, the word is spelled right, but it's not the right word.
Definitely.
Gotcha. So, I'm guessing she does a lot of editing for you,
She does.
and you pay her in wine?
She makes me feel real smart on paper and makes sense of all the nonsense, and then she told me right now that I can gift her in books because she just
Aw,
wants to make sure that my books get out there, and she loves them. She actually was one of the people that pushed me into publishing in the first place, and so
okay.
she was like, "Let me edit it." She's like, "I'll make sure it's ready to go because 'cause we're publishing this thing."
That's kinda awesome. So do you have a lot of people behind you supporting you?
Yeah. It was a fun thing where, I actually texted Marty. I woke up, it was like a weekend. I don't know, I had an amazing dream. Woke up and I texted her and I was like, "Listen, I wrote this down. I need you to read it." I was like, "I feel like it should be a book." I probably sounded insane. I sent it to her. She read it through. She's like, "Please write this." She's like, "I need to know more." And so, that's kind of the birth of that first book. My husband's been really supportive with me staying up later to write. He cheers me on. He asks me when I get my screen time 15 minutes of fame on, news stations and big interviews and stuff like that. And so
Mhm.
this was a real exciting thing to tell him about when you messaged me. So
We were trying to keep it so secret. I really was just gonna do a bonus episode for your book, just for To Love the Reaper. And I was like, "Amy, can you keep a secret?" And then I told her and she was like, "Okay." She thought it was great because we were gonna put your book on our bonus episode.
she was I she was one of the first people that I texted to
Mm.
when you asked me, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you know now." She was like, "Finally." And I was like, "Wait, you knew?" She's like, "Of course I knew."
Yeah, we have history. So, how do you connect with your readers? Do you do social media, newsletters, summoning circles?
Haven't figured out how to do a newsletter yet. It's something that I've kind of been playing with the idea of. And then also, making a permanent ARC group um, to kind of read any new works that come out. But right now, I do most of my connecting on TikTok, which is just Alex N. Rose author. But then I do have a Facebook. I post on there sometimes. I forget about it most of the time, to be honest. So sometimes I'll just be scrolling my regular Facebook and then I'll be like, oh, shoot, I should probably go do something on there.
Uh, Corks and Cauldron has a TikTok that I am terrible about posting on, but Gabby posts on. And I know that we follow you
Hmm.
on Corks and Cauldron and my personal one.
Right.
I
Yep.
know because
I
I
see
repost
you.
a lot
Yeah.
on that. Yeah. I've never actually posted from, I've always reposted on my personal one. I don't think I've ever actually put a real video out.
It was so weird starting this one, but I knew
Mhm.
that was probably, I'm on TikTok all the time. And so obviously that's where all of my friends are going to be.
True. And what advice would you give to somebody that's just starting as an author?
Write what you want to write, not what you think people want to hear, not what somebody told you, like this is how you should do it, or you need to avoid this, you need to avoid that. Write what feels good, write what you want it to be. There's, so many spell checking, grammar stuff. Just get it all out. You can fix it later, make it sound good. But, if you love your work, it's going to come through to your readers.
And as an indie author, what so far has surprised you the most about the publishing process?
Oh, it's so much extra work than I thought it was gonna be, and that's, my bad, naive me. I really thought it was you write it, you throw it through spell check, and then you can just put it on there, and then it's good to go.
It's
But there's
perfect,
so
right?
many other things, so much trial and error for covers and the pages to fit right and not get cut off. It was just a lot more setting up to where it was, ready to go.
And you don't do the artwork for your covers, but didn't you say before that you've got a couple of places that you can get artwork from?
Mhm. So I did the covers, not me personally. I did
Right.
a lot of, stock images, the free ones. I used a mix of what's it called? PixArt and Canva and kind of bounce back and forth because one, has tools, the other one doesn't have. But then there's also for the Kill Streak Cutie that's I'm kind of working on it. I want it to come out when it wants to come out. I was planning on next year, but I'm flying through it right now. So we'll see. It might be this year. My friend Jamie at Bitch Therapy Designs on Facebook, she actually made that one for me and I loved it. I have purchased quite a bit of cover art from her for some works in progress, but it's BYTCH therapy. And she's got a bunch on there. She's got bookmark stuff. Highly recommend her for your covers.
How do you navigate the emotional vulnerability of writing your stories and then just putting them out into the world?
Wine. I go through a lot of back and forth between imposter syndrome, where I'm like, yes, I love it. It's perfect. And then I'll send it out. And then it's immediately like, oh no, somebody gets to judge a piece of my soul now. And so, it's a lot of back and forth, but reminding myself that, I love it and I did my best and it's all me. And I think that kind of helps. But from what I understand from the book talk community and following some of my favorite authors, is that doesn't go away. So just gotta ride the wave, I guess.
Have readers told you anything that completely changed the way you viewed your own work?
That they liked it.
You didn't think people would like it? I loved To Kill the Reaper, and I'm really like, you sent me, um, an advanced copy of To Burn in Their Flames, and I've read about 3 chapters, but I'm already committed to that one too.
Hmm. That one, I didn't think anybody liked it. I'm still not convinced, but I'm getting there. And that's where that imposter syndrome kicks in. It's because I'm on the Truman Show, and everybody's lying to me.
No, that's not true, that's not true. I really loved in the beginning of it, I loved Julian and Luke
Mhm.
and Iris, and I love Zero too, but Zero was like the
Okay.
annoying little brother,
Yeah,
kind of,
definitely.
at first, and he grew on me too. The more I read, I was like, "Luke, no, no." And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because if you haven't read it, you're gonna have to read it now because this is me teasing you. And it was just I really loved Luke, very much. I'm never like the guy that you're expecting to be the main male character.
Right?
Like, everybody loves
Right.
Xaden Ryerson.
Mhm.
Everybody loves Slade in Plated Prisoner. Everybody loves Rhysand in ACOTAR, and in ACOTAR, I love Lucien and Eris from the Autumn Court.
Lucian was
I
my
know.
favorite, and I immediately texted Marty, and I was like, "Listen, I don't know who this Tamlin guy is." I was like, "But his friend." I was like
Lucien,
I was like,
yes.
"Listen." I was like, "He's my favorite." And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, and that has not changed for me from book 1 through book 5. But yeah, the whole time, I don't care that everybody else kind of poo-poos on him a little bit because he's not a bat boy. I love Lucien, and I think there's more to Eris
Yeah, I think so.
than they're telling us, and I think we're gonna learn more about him if she continues to write
She better, cause I can't
books.
bring myself to finish Silver Flames, cause it's all about Nesta, and I need it to not be.
I love Nesta,
No.
but I liked her at the beginning too. I liked her in book 1. She was a bitch, yes, I understand that, but I understood why she was. What advice would you give a writer just starting out in dark romance who's afraid to go too dark?
Use a pen name if you were real nervous. That's what I did, just to break down and not have, these people know me. So, like, I got to act a certain way. That's how I was brought up. And so just,
Mhm.
shedding that armor that you put up and just letting go. And just worst case, you can just keep it a secret. Nobody else has to know about it. If you don't like it and it feels a little bit too taboo. But again, write what you like. Don't write because, book talk says that they have to have a mask and, schmurder people. If you don't like that and it makes you uncomfortable, don't write it. It's okay. You'll find your readers.
That is true, because there's a reader out there for pretty much everything.
Ah, see,
Do you ever laugh out loud when you're writing a scene because it's so filthy or intense
I
or just funny?
I think, a lot of Aiden's dialogue, a lot of it made me laugh just because he's the dorky little brother, and so it was one of those where I wanted him to be fun and, you know, that basically Riddick in the
Empyrean series, yeah.
there you go, the comedic relief, and so I needed it to be funny, and I think I'm hilarious, and so a lot of them made me laugh. A lot of the scenes in To Burn in the Flames made me blush and, get
Oh?
a little giggly if there was one part, and it's very steamy romantic scene in this new one,
Mhm.
where I actually wrote it, stopped, took my hand off the keyboard, and then took a screenshot and sent it to my friend, Sam, and I was like, "I need you to read this." Who did that? I was like, "Who are you?" Like,
Wow.
it was one of those where I was like, "I don't know what happened." I was like, I think I texted her the picture, and I think what I said was, "Rory, you dog." And I think that was my exact words. But I was a giggly mess and, like, covering my face, and I couldn't even believe what happened. So,
So it was a surprise to you.
it surprised like I said, it just kinda
Okay.
happened, and then I'm also reading the same story you guys are, so
Where do you draw the line on protective versus possessive? Or do you like to blur it on purpose?
I like to blur it. I like to emulate that. I want to be overprotective because she's mine, but still give her that breathing room to do her own thing, which I feel like I really wanted to highlight in Reaper, um, was
Mhm.
him letting her heal from, all this past trauma and some of the things that she's going through. But at the same time, at the drop of a hat, he would have saved her at any point in time, no questions asked. So,
Have you had an unhinged fan interaction or reader message yet?
not yet. Lots of scammy messages. I was actually tickled pink when I started getting those because I was like, oh, look at that. TikTok's noticing me now. So I read them, I giggle about them. Lots of hey, beautiful. Lots of trying to give me money. So it's,
The normal creepers
the
and
normal
scams?
creeper.
What's the spiciest scene you've ever written and what inspired it?
I think if you follow my TikTok, I did post a little snippet of
You
the
did.
bike scene in To Burn in Their Flames. That is by far not the spiciest thing in that book. I think I would go to TikTok jail if I posted any parts of those. A lot of it is my dream. This is gonna sound weird. I promise it's fine. We all
No, it's
have
fine.
them. I had a dream, a literal dream, for Reaper. It was one scene. It was actually the bar bathroom scene. Just that little part, I woke up and I was like, "Hey, we have to make it fit." So, that was inspired by a dream. And then the other kinda spicier part in that book, was the mirror scene.
Mhm.
And, that's inspired by lots of research.
Well, good. It's good that you get to research for your books.
It,
That's
helps. I
important.
think it helps.
I think it makes it more realistic.
Oh, definitely. I
Oh,
think that you're not like, "Wait, I don't understand how this works."
no, I okay, so there are people on TikTok that try and show you how the things work.
Mhm.
The, the chair scene
Yep.
in was it Onyx Storm
Yeah.
or Iron Flame?
I think it was Onyx Storm.
Whichever, it's in the Empyrean series, and it was Xaden and Violet. The chair scene,
Mhm.
if you know, you know. So many people were trying to figure that one out, like how big the chair how tall the chair had to be, where he had to be sitting,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I got nothing. Nope."
It's kinda like the Haunting Adeline, that one. It's the one that gets me, because I apparently just couldn't imagine that part, so I just skipped through it with my brain. With the car with the seat belts, and I
Oh,
still don't
yes.
quite understand what's happening. It's like, I'm not gonna write anything that complicated because what?
I haven't read that one in a while, but I remember she was in the back seat, right?
Yeah, I don't even know where anybody was in
I
that
think
book.
she was in the back seat, which is yeah, okay, we're not gonna nope. Guys, if you've read that scene and you can explain it, please put something in the comments, please, because we need help. Thanks. We're gonna change this up a little. If your main couple in To Burn in Their Flames was sharing a bottle of wine, what kind would it be? I'm
Mm,
not doing To Love the Reaper because if you've read the book, you know that they do share a bottle of wine, so that one's no fair
from his vineyard,
and
cause
too
he's a
easy.
sweetheart.
Yes, Julian's just the he's too good.
Uh,
I love him.
well, I think if this throuple shared some wine,
Mhm.
it'd probably be something sweet, something.
Would it be wine or would it be tequila or vodka?
Probably
Let's give you free
whiskey.
reign here. Okay.
Probably whiskey, which originally I did have them sharing in the story, and I ended up actually changing it to water because I really wanted to focus on Iris's healing and sobriety because she crashed out at the
Mhm.
beginning. There was a big fallout. I do have it, kind of in the trigger warnings just for anybody. It does deal with some drugs, some rehab stays. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to be like, you know what? They're not going to have whiskey because she's recovering. So we switched it to water.
Okay. I support anybody going through any kind of whatever you choose to drink, I'm not gonna judge you.
Hmm.
I'm glad that she did her rehabilitation. I have a friend that's almost 2 years sober from everything, and she's so much happier now
Yeah,
and looks amazing. Like, physically, she has she shines brighter,
definitely.
if that makes
And
sense.
that's kind of also what I wanted
Yeah.
for Iris. I wanted her flame to be dimmed, and then slowly bring back in that loving herself and trusting other people, all of this stuff. So,
Okay, so you're trapped in one of your books. Who do you seek protection from, and who would you absolutely avoid?
absolutely avoiding Mason. He's awful. He's from the Reaper. You meet him right away, and he's just a trash can of a human. And
Mhm.
so, definitely avoiding him at all costs. I think if I was getting stuck in a book, though, I would want it to either be to burn in their flames, and have Rory
Mhm.
and Phelan, which are the two male main characters. I would want them to protect me, especially Rory, because he's
Okay.
Rory. Or I am actually working on one right now with a female main character who is the morally gray character. She's a little unhinged, she's a little crazy, and I think I'd want her to protect me because she absolutely would.
Okay. I like that. If I remember right, Rory is Irish.
Hmm.
Okay, I love Rory. I haven't even gotten to him in the book yet, I don't think.
Oh, he's
It
coming
doesn't
up.
matter. He's Irish. It's
He
fine.
he's
I'm good
come
now.
he's coming up for you. Rory and Valen are both Irish from Dublin. I tried my very best, all of the research, listening to Irish dialect, stuff like that, slang. Really tried to do it justice, but they are both from Dublin, Ireland. And then you have Julian, and he's French, and he's got all that Frenchman charm. So I really wanted
Mhm.
accents are nice. I don't know.
I do love accents a lot. Is there anybody that really doesn't like an accent?
Oh, I hope not.
Maybe it's because we as Midwesterners don't really have a heavy accent,
Sometimes it's
especially
there.
since you're from Nebraska and I'm from Kansas.
Hmm.
We don't in general have accents, at least not heavy ones.
No, I've been told that I have an accent, and I'm like, I don't know where it is, but I grew
Huh,
up in the middle of a cornfield, so I'm sure it's there.
if you say so. I don't hear it, but that means nothing. So, what spell would you cast on your readers with your next release to get them to purchase it and spread the word more?
I don't know about a spell, but magic words, I would say Eiffel Tower, morally gray men, definitely, taller than 6 feet. Most of them have brown hair. In these newer ones, that was something that caught
Mhm.
me off guard too. With the first one, was that I made him blonde. So I apologize to all of those readers. I could have changed him to brunette, but he was blonde in my dream, and I needed to use what inspired me.
He's gotta stay blonde then.
He had to be blonde, and I ended up adding a beard later, but he was clean shaven at first, and my husband's got
Hmm,
a beard, so I was like, "No, I don't even like that."
that's fair, that's fair. Is there anything else you wanna tell us about anything you're writing now, any of the books that are already out?
Keep an eye out on my social media if you are interested. I
Okay.
do post some little snippets here and there, of what I am writing, and
Mhm.
what book they're from. I'm really excited for Husk. That's, more, it's leaning more into the spooky paranormal romance on the dark side, and I'm really excited. And then
Is that a is that a new book you're writing, or is that the one that's in the compilation book?
that's the one that's in that horror anthology in October.
Oh,
And then my author friend Vivian Van Dam and I are working on a co-write about Mothman. And I
okay.
love him already. That is actually her part in that book, is she is Pixis, our Mothman, and that's been a lot of fun going back and forth, writing this book.
Do you have any indie authors that are your current favorites, or any author in general that's a favorite?
Vivian Van Dam, I actually met her
Okay.
um, through an ARC advanced copy read of one of her books, and we started talking and we were clicking. And then she's become very close as a friend to me and a mentor, even. Jamie Spicer, she's also an indie writer. Her Carnival series is probably my absolute favorite. There is also an Easter egg in To Burn in Their Flames for Jamie, which she agreed to, and I was tickled pink that she agreed to it. And so if you have read her work, you can see if you can pick it up on there. And then if you're in for some horror, there's Timothy King. Big fan of all of his stories. They're thrilling, they're fast paced. I actually beta read for him sometimes. And so that's been a lot of fun getting to know some of these authors.
Would you ever do a con, like a convention? Have you thought about it?
I've considered it. I really lean into the whole faceless author
Okay.
kind of content, but I feel like even signing books, that would be so much fun. But I also like the whole mysterious part of, using a pen name and being faceless. There's that anonymity to it.
Okay. All right. So you've given us your TikTok, I think, didn't you? It was at Alex N. Rose author. Is that also your Facebook?
It is.
Okay. I'm only saying that so that people can follow you, because they should.
Facebook, definitely follow me. Again, though, I don't post a whole lot on there. Most of it's
Mhm.
through my TikTok, but I do try to do both. I do a lot of my ARC reading calls. So if you do like to get advanced copies and then do reviews and stuff like that, that's kind of where I do that just to have it in one central place.
Okay. All right. So before we go, we did this last time. I'm going to make you do it again. Fuck, Mary kill. 2 groups. First group, Mason, Luke, Arthur.
Kill Mason.
Kill Mason.
Fuck
Yes.
Luke. I'm gonna marry Arthur. He's rich. He's old.
Kind of leaves you with it. So
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have an option, but I mean, he's old. He's
I
up there.
think I think we're both in agreement that we're going to kill Mason.
Yeah.
I fully I don't normally, we're not really violent people, guys. Just read the book
You'll get it
to
right
Love the
away.
Reaper.
First
You'll
couple pages.
understand. Yeah. I still think Luke is the one I'd wanna marry.
I know.
I can't help myself.
I
I don't
know.
care.
He's got that nice sidekick energy.
He does. Alright, group 2, Julian, Aiden, Iris.
We're gonna have to marry Aiden. He's sweet. He's fun.
He really
He
is.
is just a little lamb. He's so sweet. And then we're gonna have to unfortunately kill Julian because Iris, she's a total badass. She's very motherly in the first one, but she's got that punk, emo, no care vibe to her, and
Mhm.
we love that.
Thank you so much for coming on here and talking to me tonight, and re-recording since the first one failed. Alright. Thank you so much for listening to Corks and Cauldron. Be sure to follow us at Corks and Cauldron on your favorite socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review us, share us with your booksties, and tell the world. It's the best way to spread the word and help our podcast grow, because Corks and Cauldron is a self-funded labor of love, and your support help keeps the magic alive. Join us on our Patreon community today at patreon.com/corks and cauldron, and maybe even treat us to a bottle of wine. Our episodes drop every Thursday. We are still in the Plated Prisoner series. We are going through the book Glow right now. So there will be a new episode on Thursday. But until then, eat, drink, and get lost in a good book. Cheers.